The following episode may contain sensitive content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello.
I just said it because everyone stayed quiet.
Buenos
dias.
We're ready. We're ready. Oh, like SpongeBob. I'm ready.
We are ready. I have my glass of wine.
Ready.
I need to wind down.
Wine down? Or wind down?
Is it wind down? Isn't that how you say it?
Wind down. But I was making a joke. Wine. Because you're drinking wine.
I'm a penis. I don't get it. I'm stupid.
You went to school. You have your bachelor's degree. Get out of here.
Oh, please.
Doesn't mean shit anymore.
Faked my way through it, didn't we all? I used ratemyteacher.com. That's how I got through college.
Imagine the kids.
Which
nowadays
is the easiest professor?
Yeah,
the kids nowadays
that's literally how I succeeded.
Who will give you an A if you suck their dick? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Man.
But now they're using ChatGPT, so, you know.
That's true.
We know that's true.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Welcome to The Show Must Go On.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this is The Show Must Go On podcast. I'm Giovanni.
I'm Tracey.
And I'm Nikki. We are here to talk about films, movies, documentaries. We review them. We talk shit about everyone, including the actors, because we are failed actors and we are entitled to do that.
We need to make ourselves feel better.
Right.
Exactly.
And on top of that, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So
so we're just
does
flowing
anybody
at this point.
No.
Just everybody tell me you're lost in life. It'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
You know. Mystery loves company.
Seriously.
And we love complaining. So
All complainers can come to this podcast, and everyone that wants to bitch about life can come through this podcast too.
Yeah, comment, like, post, complain all you want. Just don't complain
Judge.
about us, please.
Post, complain.
Just don't complain about us. You'll make us cry, and we don't like that.
Oh yeah, no negative reviews on us, please.
Right.
No,
just
we're
on
good.
everyone else.
Exactly.
Tell me you love me.
Anything exciting you guys have done lately? Tracy, what have you done lately?
Oh, well, oh man, where do I start? So,
What happened?
you know,
She's taking a deep breath,
there's
y'all.
not a lot of theater where I live, which is really sad. Obviously, like, living in New York and having Broadway just, like, a hop, skip, and a jump away. Oh, my God, I fucking miss that. And, I mean, there's no such thing as, like, touring. Like, the closest that a touring company will come to is Jacksonville, Florida, which is, like, 2.5 hours away, which really isn't that bad, but still. And then even from there, like...
That's so far, yeah.
It is, and then
That is
not
very
all
far.
the, shows go there, you know?
Yeah,
So, like, you kind of have to pick and choose. So I had the luxury of going and seeing some local community theater very close by, and they did a production of Fiddler on the Roof. This is a 55 and plus community that puts it on. However, there were 2 teenagers in it, which I was like, where the fuck did they come from? So I'm wondering if it was like their grandkids who live in the area, or like,
man, I was thinking open call,
or like 2 teenagers who couldn't make it into their high school theater and tried out for this. I know
that was brutal.
I'm just spitting facts, baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, it was okay. The short and short of it is it was fucking terrible. Like, I have seen children's productions before. Like, I've seen junior versions of, like, Into the Woods. And it was...
Yeah.
And that was better than this.
Okay, give us specifics.
So, for a musical, no one could sing.
Oh, God.
Like, no one could carry a tune.
That's a hard musical.
It is, but, like, nobody could sing.
Musically, yeah.
They tried to do some choreography and dancing, because there's the one part where the oldest sister gets married and they're at the wedding, and it takes place in Russia. So they're trying to do like the kicks and the this and like dancing around with bottles on their heads. And at one point I went with my mom, and I leaned over and I was like, I wish that they would stop with the choreography. And she leaned over to me and she said, I wish we could leave at intermission.
Jennifer!
My mom's a fucking savage. And in my head, I've never left a show.
Oh, God.
And at any point for a second act. Like,
Yeah.
I stay through it. You know, high school production, all of it. So I didn't even think that was an option. So when she said that, I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
that's right.
We're going to be
You guys
free.
left?
We're going to be, yeah. We left. And the thing is, so my mom knows the woman who directed it. So she was like, it was like a friends and family, like right before they were gonna because
So
the
it was
opening,
a preview.
right? So because opening night was Saturday, we went the day before on Friday. So yes, it was like a friends and family preview. So just to like have an audience there, and we went for free. Thank God, because tickets were $32. Which, yeah, I'm
For
sorry.
community theater?
Rip off.
Fucked up, yeah.
Wait a minute. That's a lot of money.
It is. It wasn't
much
cheap.
money.
And
Especially for where you live. No offense.
no offense taken.
That is
But-
crazy.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Me either. The whole time I was like,
I wish you could have recorded some of it. Like, I'd
oh,
love to see
me
that
too.
theater.
I know.
I'm
I
sure it's
know.
going to be
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Reminds me of In the Whites. Remember that on TikTok? The In the
Yes,
Heights
in the heights
cast
that it was
all
like,
white. Oh.
That actually was better than this.
Oh.
oh my God, that means that was like
Yeah.
minus 40.
Yeah.
Damn.
And like the
Wow.
mics,
Well-
there were problems with the mics, which I know sometimes you can't help. But it was like a popping sound. It was like really loud. So they had to work. I don't know. I feel
What a disaster.
it.
I'm so
I'm sorry
sorry.
you had
It
to go
makes
through
me
that.
miss live theater, like good live theater.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, this past weekend I
Yeah.
went to see Hamilton, the
I'm gonna
Broadway
live
tour.
vicariously through you.
Ah, God.
So
Love
good.
theater. So I was never able to see it on Broadway. It was always either sold out, and then like you could get tickets in like 7 months, and it was $800 per ticket. There
At
was
least,
no
yeah.
fucking way, no fucking way I had the money to pay that back then. And I love theater, but I wouldn't pay that right now. I can't. No.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No.
So, I was able to get tickets for me and my boyfriend. We went on Sunday, and it's such a beautiful fucking show. It's the cast was amazing. The girl that played Eliza, her voice was just. I also think like when they're casting them, they are thinking about like Eliza's voice has to be like top angel voice, you know. The guy that the actor that played George Washington everyone was so fucking good. It was a great cast. The only actor that I didn't like was the girl that played Angelica, and it wasn't bad acting. It wasn't bad singing. It was just I didn't like her tone.
Yeah.
When she sang, it was a little bit too nasal for me, and when you're too nasal, you might sound flat. I know this because I am a nasal singer. So there were so many times that I was like, like, you know, but no one else would notice that. I noticed because I did go to school for it and I have parents that are musicians, but no one else. And I'm not saying that she couldn't sing. The girl could fucking sing and the girl could fucking rap, you know, because that song Satisfied, you have to have perfect diction, perfect pitch, like everything. It's such a hard song to sing, and it's fast. But holy shit, everyone was so good. I was crying after intermission nonstop. Like crying because the story, you know.
Yeah.
And then I thought of Giovanni in Wait For It. I'm Inevitable. And I was like, oh, right, Giovanni can't say that.
I could never say that word, and I don't care.
You have a penis.
Yeah, but the penis.
And my boyfriend, who's like nothing of musical theater, was like speechless. And he knows I like this musical. He's seen me, he's heard me singing, he's heard me put it on the TV on Disney Plus.
When you see it, it's like
yeah, he was like, this is fucking amazing. This, like, I have no words. And he's like, it makes me want to fix our country.
Aw, except
you
the
know,
white boy.
I know. I'm like, oh, the guy that has no issues.
yeah.
I'm like, imagine if you were an immigrant. But yeah, no words. It was beautiful. I kept thinking of the swings. For the listeners, if you don't know what a swing is on Broadway, look it up. Their job is the hardest job.
Yep, so hard.
Of the whole cast. And yeah, that's.
I'm glad you.
I had the opposite experience.
I know. I'm so fucking jealous.
I have something controversial to say.
What, you don't like Hamilton? You bitch.
I don't like Hamilton.
Yeah, fuck you.
Have you seen it live?
Nope.
That's why.
Well, you saw it on TV before you saw it.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I don't know if I would pay money to go see it live.
It's definitely not the same. Because when I saw it here, I wasn't crying. I was like, oh,
but you loved it.
I really, really liked it. Now I'm obsessed. And to know that, like, people like my boyfriend, that football dude, you know, is like experienced it and was like, wow. You have to, I think in person it just makes such a difference. And
I do like the song Satisfied. I'll give it that, but that's it.
The way you engage, oh man, and the actors, they're so fucking funny. Their comedic timing was just beautiful. Yeah, I think
was there a turntable?
Like this, like the set was
the
pretty
stage. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really like I have my, you know, I'm an In the Heights girly, you know. I'm always team In the Heights because it's what I like identify with.
Okay,
a lot.
but that's In the Heights. This is Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I thought I was like an In the Heights girly, but then I saw Hamilton and I'm like, I'm also a Hamilton girly because.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is a musical genius.
Yeah.
Like he's just so smart, and like everything is so intentional with everything that he does in his music. And also, I mean, I think he's changed the game for people who don't like musicals, who don't like Broadway. Because my sister's another person. She fucking hates musicals. And she went with her on like a job thing. They went to Chicago, and her boss like bought them tickets to Hamilton, and she was like, oh fuck, I gotta go. She liked it. She really enjoyed it, you know? And it's so cool to hear about a story in history that we probably aren't aware, because it's about someone who was
an immigrant
and minority.
Mm-hmm.
He was a black man, and I don't think that people realize that.
Yeah.
So I just think the story is really important.
The guy that played George Washington, the actor, was Haitian.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
His voice was insane. Insane. Guys, if you have for the listeners, if this tour is going to your state, please see it. It's so fucking worth it. It's worth it every single penny. And it's also important for you to know the history. Nothing there was made up. And the story is super fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's juicy. It's a fucking
yes.
soap opera.
It is a soap opera.
I love it. It's so good. Whatever, Joe. You're in the minority. You're probably the only one who doesn't like it.
I'm a minority. I'm gay and I'm a Latino, so.
And you don't like
Exactly.
Hamilton.
So you should go watch. There's gays and immigrants.
It might come to. Actually, it is coming to Philly. I think it is. Someone mentioned that it was coming at some point.
You should. Honestly, it's gonna change
I'll try to
your
convince
view.
someone to pay for my ticket because I refuse to do it.
Tell your boyfriend.
such a little
Be like,
bitch.
treat me.
He doesn't like Hamilton either.
Because he hasn't seen it live, probably.
I don't actually. I take it back. He might like Hamilton. I don't know, but I know I don't like it.
So you were lying to us?
Yeah,
this whole
he's just
time?
pushing. He's like,
Maybe.
yeah, no
I'm a
money.
man.
I know
That's what we
likes
do.
it.
We lie.
Oh my gosh, that was his first instincts to lie to us. Okay, moving on from the
Moving on.
lies.
We've got work to do.
Yes, but I wanted to bring up, did you guys see the teaser or a little bit of a trailer for Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
The juice is loose.
It looks so good. I love that the cast is basically back completely.
Yeah.
Everyone was there.
I love it.
I saw Michael Keaton and then Catherine
O'Hara and
Winona
Winona Ryder.
and Winona. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, those are like your
Yeah.
main players.
That's all you need. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes. Yeah.
That's all you need. And
Right.
I'm excited that it's Tim Burton who's directing it. That's great.
Yes.
And excited to see what they're going to do with Jenna Ortega.
She's
who's
such a good
becoming
actress.
new Screen queen.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm really excited. And the other thing that I was gonna say, did any of you ever watched? I think it was from Apple TV Plus. Yes, The Last Thing He Told Me.
No, because I hated the book, so I refused to watch the show.
Well, thank goodness you didn't watch it because it was fucking horrible. I actually
Like the book.
wasted my time.
Yeah, worst.
And I kept thinking, I'm glad you're telling me this because I was like, oh, probably the book was really good, and then
I
they
hated
fucked
it.
it up in the.
No, I hated it.
Well, so it's one of those shows that it didn't go anywhere. It was
was the
like
book.
every episode.
Oh,
That's
so it's
so
just
bad.
like the book.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
nothing
every-
happened. I couldn't stand the characters.
Nothing happens. Every episode is a build up to nothing.
Oh, where's the climax?
I kept thinking like something's gonna happen. Nothing. Something's gonna. Nothing.
Oh.
Until the last episode, I was like, oh, something's gonna happen. No, nothing happened. Guess what? They got renewed for season 2.
I didn't know it was a series. I
What?
thought it was a movie.
I thought the way that it ended. I mean, what I heard is the way that it ended
The
was how
Last
the book
Thing
ended.
He Told Me, Part 2.
Is it a continuation from that
It's
story
a
or different
continuation
cast?
because the writer either finished already or is writing the second book, and they picked up a second season for the show. I was
don't
like,
watch it. I don't know anything about it anyway, so.
no, you should. It's so fucking bad. It's so like. I kept trying, like every episode, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it a chance," and nothing would happen. Trey would be like, "This show kind of sucks. It's not going anywhere." And I was like, I know, like, let's see the next episode. He's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. And I, like, kept going on my own. I was like, okay, I'll watch it, like, thinking, like, at least the last episode, something was going to happen. Yeah. And then the way it ended, I was like, okay, like, what?
Yeah, it's very, like sort of ambiguous.
It's also, like, the fact that person wrote all of that, and there's nothing there.
No, that's what I wonder about is like, how do some of these books get published and like you have multiple people reading them and nobody
And
says
picked
anything?
up for a show.
Right.
It becomes a show.
And it was
now
like
it gets
a bestseller and like one of Reese's book, which sometimes you have to question stuff like that. Like, is she really reading it or is she just like getting paid to put her name to it? You know?
Yeah.
But
Well,
terrible.
getting approved for a second season. So
Just
I
letting you
mean-
know, the AC is on, and I can see that it's recording the sound of the AC. Whatever, man.
I don't.
Hey, you're in Miami. It's hot.
Well, today we are going to be discussing something that is all the rage, and it's not very fortunate, but it is about a new docuseries on Max called Quiet on Set, which stars some
The
of
dark side of...
the dark side of
Kids TV.
what is the rest of the title?
The dark side of kids TV.
The dark side of kids TV. There you go.
Joe, I kept waiting
professionals
for you
here.
to finish it.
The dark
I was
side
like,
of
he's
kids
gonna finish it.
TV.
Oh my
Dark side of
goodness.
kids.
The
Yeah.
dark side of kids.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah, this is a really sad and heavy docuseries, and I am ready to dive in. You know, and I honestly, I have to say, from the very beginning, it said like if you were a '90s kid or if you grew up in the '90s watching these shows, you know, unfortunately, this docuseries is going to ruin your childhood, and that's so fucked up because these are shows that have been with me since then, and I still reference them today, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, one, thanks for ruining it, but I mean, they had to ruin it,
Yeah.
you know? But also,
Yeah.
too, like, what the fuck? Why can't we just have a normal,
We can't have nice things.
a nice thing? Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have a comedy or just kids' TV shows that don't come with any, like, pedophiles in it
Right.
or
Or
abusers in it,
sexual
or sex
innuendo.
offenders?
Yeah.
Right, or sexual innuendo. You know, and at the time, I mean, I didn't realize that all of these things had sexual innuendos
No.
because we didn't. No, we were too young to know.
Because we're kids, yeah.
We were kids.
But
You
the
know?
Well,
fact
we can-
that it got
we can
away
s-
with that.
Oh,
sorry.
for so many years too. Like nothing.
Like it went past the network. Like
Yeah.
there are people who have to approve these things and they said, oh, what about this thing here? And they explain it away and they're like, okay, it still doesn't seem right, but sure.
Yeah. I mean, let's talk about the first episode, Rising Stars, Rising Questions.
So it's in
yeah,
the
you were saying
1990s, new creator emerges at Nickelodeon. He's a showrunner called Dan Schneider.
Fat
And he
bastard.
brings laughter and mentorship to kids' TV. He champions young talent like Amanda Bynes, who we all should know. But behind the scenes, some female writers face a toxic and sexist work environment. Oh my God. Like I can see Tracey just tensing up right now. She's ready
Yeah.
to punch someone in the face.
Let's just start with the writers
Dan
having
Schneider.
to split their salary.
The fact that
Sharing
they had
a
to
fucking
split it.
salary. The only two women on the team, and they have to
Split
share
the
a salary
salary.
while all the men
Right.
get their own.
And you know what? It sucks too because it's like what the one writer said that she was temping, you know, and the
Right.
other
Yes,
female writers
yes.
said that this was like her big break. So you're taking
Yeah.
advantage of these women also because it's like these opportunities aren't really coming along for them.
These are
So,
their dream jobs.
It's their dream job, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. You know, like what? I'm gonna say no to that. Like this is my
Mm-hmm,
foot in the door. Like this is my way to get into the industry, and then hopefully it'll take off from there. So like you're
Yeah.
taking advantage of them already because this is their hope and dream.
yeah.
And they don't know any
It's-
better, you know. So they think, okay,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
fine.
Like, this
I
is
can
their
split
first
a
gig,
salary.
yeah.
I mean,
Fine,
that's
that is
the
not
thing
even
about
legal.
that's the thing about people in power and people that are powerless. If you're getting a new job, and especially in the entertainment industry, when you get your first job, it's like saying like you know how to ride a horse, and you're like, yeah, and then you'll figure it out later. So you know, they said yes because they're like, okay, probably it'll be temporary like that. I'll become full time, I'll have a full salary and all that stuff. But yeah, that was never gonna happen with this PAB.
Oh,
Pab
he's a
Dan
huge
Schneider.
pab.
He's such a pab,
Big
and he
time
was
pab.
never gonna let them have a full salary like the rest of the writers.
And the fact that he even said, like, women aren't funny.
Yo, how do you say that
The
in a room full of
disrespect.
writers with two women standing there?
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Like,
I have
they-
no words.
These are
I
your
have no words.
employees.
They earn the right to be there. I mean, even he said that they wouldn't look at who wrote sketches and they would put it
Yeah.
in order of funniest to
Yeah.
least funny. And the one female, her sketch was at the top. She was the funniest. So how
Right.
can you fucking
First
say
of all,
that women
it's
aren't
so-
funny?
Yeah. It's so inaccurate that women aren't funny. I mean, look at Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Maya Rudolph,
Kristen Wiig.
Hello.
I mean, even back
Are
in the
you
day,
fucking
Lucille
kidding me?
Ball, Carol
Yes.
Burnett, like you.
what a
100%.
pap. What a
He's
misogynistic
such
piece
a
of
fucking
shit.
asshole. If you're listening
Yeah.
to this, Dan Schneider, fuck you, you fat
Hope you
piece
choke
of
on a
shit.
cheeseburger.
Oh, probably.
And then how he made them do these like ludicrous acts, like, okay, tell us your story while you're leaning over the table pretending that you're being sodomized. First of all,
So degrading.
HR issue. Like, I'm sorry, but that's an HR issue. Like, I don't know what the rules are in Hollywood or Nickelodeon, but like that is
I just
lawsuit.
kept thinking about it, and the fact that, you know, she was probably really young and wanting to keep the job because you also couldn't stand up to him because
Right.
you would get fired, and then her just having to do it, and then like obviously they ask her about it now, and she's like, I don't want to fucking talk about it because
Yeah.
this is so fucking embarrassing.
Right.
It's embarrassing
All
because she
these
knows
people are
today. Like
traumatized.
she didn't know any better back then, but today she's like, yeah, that shit would not
Right.
fly. You know, and it's like I want to give her her grace and her flowers
Yeah.
because we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
Those situations where we, like you said, Nikki, we don't speak up. You know, we're too afraid
don't.
to speak up, and we're too young. We don't know any better.
We're afraid of
At least we
retaliation.
probably do know better. We're afraid of retaliation.
Yeah.
We're just like, no, you motherfucker, I'm not doing that. Respect me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
What a fucking shame.
And the
then
fact,
that other
too,
girl
like,
who had to
nobody
quit,
said
too.
anything in that room. Like, there were male writers. So the fact that not
Yeah.
even one guy stood up to be like, hey,
'Cause they
man,
were
you know,
all
like,
afraid
let's
of
not.
him.
They were all afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
They were all on the same, same page, on
He
the same level.
seemed like one of those guys that
A pap?
yeah, he was definitely a pop, and he was definitely a sexist, but he was also
Oh, for
like
sure.
he was also mistreating the males too, in not in a sexual way that we know of, but in a like overpowering them constantly. Because if you are seeing this in front of you and you're not saying anything, it's because you don't trust that you're gonna be able to keep your job.
Mm-hmm.
If
It's a
you
toxic
speak
work
up.
environment.
It's so
1000%,
toxic.
yeah.
It's awful. I feel so awful for the writers because aside of that, it's like you finally get your dream job and then it's completely
It's a nightmare.
it's a nightmare, but also it's tainted.
Oh, it ruins it.
You
for
know,
for
it's
sure.
like, oh my god, like they just
traumatizing.
ruined it for me. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking work in the entertainment industry anymore. After that, if it's gonna be like that, why would I work in the entertainment industry?
That's true, yeah.
You know,
It
so
is a shame.
it broke my heart for real watching them go through
did.
that. I mean, there's so many things. We haven't even gotten to like the really bad parts.
Yeah.
Right. So, like,
That was
let's
like
go into
the less
that's just
the
like
less
the
hard.
toxic work environment for
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Now, I mean, episode 2 goes into more of his relationship with
Amanda
the child
Bynes.
actors, and the biggest one being Amanda Bynes. But before we even get to Amanda Bynes, we can talk about, because before Amanda Bynes comes into the picture, there are some issues that come up, right? Because she's a little late to the game. We have the all-time hit show, All That, which I have to say, fuck, I was such a huge fan. All That.
I loved it, yeah. Did you watch any Nickelodeon, Nikki?
Did they have that in DR?
Yeah, but not like I did watch Keenan and Kel. I didn't watch all that. There was like a lot of things that we got later on, and we got them with voiceover, which was super annoying. And honestly, my mom was fine with me watching Friends. So
Okay. Well, I think Keenan and Kel was a spin-off from All That.
yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Right?
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
so- 'cause
But
that's where
when
they
we got
started.
it again, it was with the voice. It wasn't their voices,
Ah.
and like as a viewer, I mean, as a viewer, you're seeing that their mouth are moving differently. I don't know. It was weird, but my little sister, like when all those shows like got there, including the one with like Jamie Lynn Spears, my little sister was obsessed
Yeah.
with all of those. So I know, because I know what you're saying, Joe, was what my little sister went through. Like she was, and I told her after I watched the documentary, I was like, "Hey, you have to watch this because it's
You're
gonna
gonna
blow
ruin
your
your
mind."
childhood.
It's gonna ruin your childhood,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
ruined
ready.
Your fucking childhood. It's such a shame because like they literally said it word for word of what I was thinking. All That is like a teen child version of SNL. You know,
Yeah.
and that's literally what it was, and I just loved it. It was so funny. All these skits were so great. However, you know, looking back at it now, we didn't realize that there was so much sexual innuendo.
I mean,
Had
let's talk
no
about the
fucking
pickle
idea.
dude. What was
The
that?
pickle dude, what the fuck was that?
What was the
Also,
name of the character? Pickle what?
Pickle guy?
Pickle-
Pickle boy.
Pickle guy?
Pickle boy.
Pickle
Pickle
boy.
boy. When
And the guy was an
Yeah.
adult.
when Ray Romano was like stuck in the room and he put it like it's a fucking
The
glory hole.
Like, why
And
would
then
Ray Romano even agree
and then
to that?
he
Like,
took
I
the
wonder if Ray
pickle
even knew
with-
that's what they were gonna do.
with 2 hands and was like,
Yeah.
like who eats a pickle like that? I'm sorry if I'm offending
So
you if
gross.
you eat a pickle with both
So
hands.
gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, as an adult,
Ariana
and
Grande.
he had probably been doing like Everybody Loves Raymond and all that stuff. So like you already have a show. You don't need to worry about being fired. If I were him, I'd be like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm not eating a fucking pickle like that. That's weird.
Yeah.
Also, the ignorance back in the 90s, it's just like, I have no
Insane.
words. Let's talk about, talking about all these like sexual innuendos that happen in the show. Ariana Grande and the fucking potato. I was so uncomfortable.
So
And you know, I kept thinking my heart is breaking for this girl right now, who she always seems like a smart girl. I mean, she still seems like a really smart girl. And I'm sure in the moment she was like, it's just my job. I just have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, you know, I don't think she was thinking of it in like with like ill intent, but she's like, I just gotta go through it, because it was like the part with the water bottle. I was like,
Oh, the water bottle was.
also like being upset, like it looks like she was
Upside
getting
down.
like waterboarded too. Like
Yeah.
my god, and then being like like the fucking
like I'm
sex
thirsty. I'm
sound.
thirsty.
I don't get it. Like,
So
why is that
uncomfortable.
funny?
It
And trying to
wasn't.
squeeze the potato for the juice to come out.
The way
Right.
that she's doing it with 2 hands. I mean,
Right.
like, oh, yeah. I felt really, really uncomfortable.
And the fact that was happening and everyone was watching it
And they're going
on TV.
hilarious.
And,
We love
and
this. The kids
saying
will
this is
love
great.
this.
And nobody's saying anything.
All the
Well,
fucking
hold on a
cum
second.
shots.
There were parents who were saying things, right? We had some parents who were on the set saying things like the parent of the black kid, who she felt that her son was being basically just discriminated against and not prioritized because the color of his skin, you know, he was black.
Right. So then they basically told him, "You're not coming back." They They let him go.
They basically told him you're not coming back, and the boy blamed his mom for it, and that really ruined their relationship. That was really unfortunate, I mean, and then kind of jumping into a little bit of Drake Bell, and when Drake Bell came into the picture, his father was his manager, and he saw that this pickle guy, which I forget his fucking name,
Brian Peck. Pecker.
would touch him inappropriately and was building this inappropriate relationship with this kid.
He's grooming
and then these parents would be kind of like pushed out.
It was also like, notice how, and this is gonna sound really bad, but notice how it was the black kids' parents that would speak up mostly.
Yeah.
And it's like these are the people that were the most worried about their kids, and I said to my boyfriend when I was watching it, I was like, this shit would never happen if there was a Latino parent there, because Latino parents are fucking insane. They would never leave me alone, ever. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a producer or a director. They don't give a fuck. They would be there holding your hand. Like, I had no words.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because y'all remember Taina
Yes, of course.
on Nickelodeon?
Yep.
That only lasted for one season. And there was a recent interview that just came out. It's about a Puerto Rican girl, Nikki, in case you don't know it.
And she wants to become famous. Like that's her.
It was like, and it was a huge hit show, great ratings. Like everyone was like, what happened? Why did they just stop? And there was a lot of talk about that the creative team and the talent, meaning Taina and her family, there were just some disagreements. But a recent interview came out after this docuseries aired.
I know where this is going. Yeah.
The mom, they asked her, so what do you have to say? Why do you think that your daughter or Taina was not involved in all of these abuses that went on? And she said, literally word for word, she says, because we're Puerto Rican. She said that. She said, because we're Puerto Rican. Basically, we don't have time. We don't put up with that bullshit.
No,
we know better.
It's like worse than helicopter parents. There is airplane parents. They're there. They knew exactly the whole
what was happening.
time.
And they said, "We don't like this. We're out of here."
No, we're out. Yeah.
White people, they would get your shit together.
There was a lot of trust. Like, obviously, they're not like that anymore. Because then you think of like the case with Michael Jackson. There was a lot of really fucked up shit that happened there. But I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I'm like, there's a lot of fault in the parents.
Yeah.
I mean, would you let your child sleep in the same bed as a grown man?
Who cares if it's fucking Michael Jackson? No, my mother would never.
Thank you. Yeah, that's not appropriate.
No. Oh
Absolutely
my gosh.
Like,
no. Yeah, there's like a lot of things like that I'm like, what were they thinking?
They were too trusting and naive. I think that's what it comes down to is like, sorry, white people, but we never think anything bad is going to happen to us or our children. Like, we're just naive.
But let's give them some credit, because there were some white parents, like Jake Bell's father, who spoke up. Then
right
there was
away.
Actually, no, I think it was just him, because that one girl who the production assistant sent her a photo of him naked, the mom thought, oh my God, should I call the cops or not? And she
Brandy's
didn't call the cops.
mom. She didn't
Brandy's
call the
mom.
cops.
She didn't call the fucking cops. Also,
To
where was
protect
Brandy?
their
Why was
kid.
she not in the series?
I looked it up and I couldn't find anything. So if Tracey has information about that.
I don't. I feel like it's just such a source of shame and trauma. Like, she was like 11. Like, it's like it's such a terrible thing that happened to you when you're that age. And
I'm glad her mom came in to tell the story.
Yeah.
It's better because like the mother is more of age, older, where you are able to process these things versus an 11-year-old. Your mind is still forming and changing.
Right.
So she's probably ashamed and a little traumatized too.
Well, it also, like, you as a kid, like, you put your trust in adults. Like, you think you're safe with them.
Yeah.
And you look up to them.
Authority. You follow authority too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And
That's why they ask the parents to leave at some moments. Can we ask the parents to leave the room? Like, that is so shady to me.
I've been like,
Why?
no, you can just tell us.
No, why do you need me to leave the room?
No. Yeah. No.
I don't understand.
No.
But before we jump into Amanda Bynes, I just have to say that if we're going to talk about Drake Bell and this pickle guy,
we can talk about Drake Bell right after Amanda Bynes because
okay, so
like his story comes after that.
Right, because she's a little late to the game. So first, Drake Bell. I think we're introduced to Drake Bell first, right? Is that how it?
No.
Is that the order of it?
No, it's Amanda Bynes. Drake Bell gets his show after Amanda Bynes' show.
Oh, sorry.
Because Amanda Bynes was on
Bynes-
All That, and then she got her
Yes.
spin-off show, The Amanda
Right.
Show, and then
The
Drake
Amanda
Bell
Show.
was on that.
Which the reason why they hire Amanda Bynes because they got rid of that girl because she looked too fat. First she looked too fat, and then they were like, oh no, she looks too much of a
Too
woman.
old. Yeah.
Too old. Like,
Yep.
oh my God, I was like, I thought she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Stunning.
What the fuck?
I know, I love it. She was like, that was supposed to be my show.
Right, and I was like,
That
imagine
broke
a
my
kid
heart.
hearing that
Yeah.
too. A kid hearing you're too fat.
I know.
You need to lose some weight.
Trauma. And meanwhile, she's like, I'm going through puberty, and like my body is changing. Like,
You're
how
going
are we supposed
literally
to
as a
help that?
woman. You're going through the worst time of your life, basically, because
Those
we
eating
get
disorders are starting.
She's getting boobs and hips, and like her body is changing, and like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Yikes.
so
then that's how we
Amanda
get
comes in the
introduced to
show,
Amanda Bynes, yeah.
and right away her parents are not big fans of Dan.
Yeah, they're not.
You know, he didn't like how involved that her parents were in her life, and you know, so much
course
that he started putting fucking lies in her head, and she tried to get, what's the word, emancipated,
Yeah.
and
To go and live
That-
with Dan and his wife, by the way.
Which makes no fucking sense.
I
Makes no sense. Why? Why? I don't get it.
but I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram and on TikTok.
Yep.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it at the end, Trace?
No, we can talk about it now because I'm gonna spoil alert. I don't really have any fun facts or anything.
Okay.
Like I was gonna
I
talk
will call
about
them
like
interesting facts
right.
today.
Well, yeah, for sure. But
Yes,
even
yeah.
that, like, not necessarily even this. Not even. It was more like rumors or sort
Yes.
of like speculation with things
Okay.
that have happened. But we can totally talk about it now because it's on topic.
What?
so
What
it's
is it?
fine.
What
So, according to
got
the
the tea.
internet, you know how Amanda would going through these like really crazy rants on Twitter or whatever it's called now, whatever. And sometimes she would, you know, create different accounts because they wouldn't let her use
Yeah.
her own account because, you know, and in one of them, basically it seems like she got pregnant by her boss at 13 years old. And
had to
her
get an
boss
abortion.
back then
Dan
was
Schneider.
Dan Schneider, and she had an abortion.
Oh, I heard that.
So this also, like, you know, like, this poor girl has gone through a lot of shit, and a lot of us were like, oh, she's just a child actor, you know how they are. They get fucked up, you know, they can't deal with it. You know, it's like, it's not being a child actor because this doesn't happen to kids on Broadway. You know, this doesn't happen to all child actors. It's something that's happening behind the scenes that we don't know about. And like, when I read all that, I was like, this is why this girl is who she is today. And the shit that she's been through, the trauma that she has, my heart is completely broken for her. Completely. I didn't understand. You know, I was like, I know she has a diagnosis. I know. But on top of her diagnosis, all the trauma that she went through and the manipulation that she went through and the sexual abuse, it's like talking about Britney, you know. I can't blame them for being the way that they are right now, and I think they're actually sane for the shit that they went through.
Well, and like being so young, like 13 years old and going through that. And then it's like she kept working like nothing happened. And I saw a clip someone posted on TikTok that was like a monologue or something that she was doing at the beginning of the Amanda show. And this guy comes through with a pretzel cart and she was like, oh, hey, I'll take a pretzel. And he like hands her a baby.
Wait, is that real?
Yes. This aired.
I have no words.
Yeah. So, and you know, like Dan was writing these things into these scripts too. So yeah, it's like throwing in her face, like, hey,
I think
this thing
like
happened.
not only sexual abuse, also emotional, mental, everything.
Yeah.
She buried herself into work because Amanda Bynes is fucking talented.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Holy shit, that woman was.
I know. She's
so
funny.
she was
She's
little.
the Man is like
You
one of
know
my
what
favorite
I mean?
movies.
Like,
I love it.
Which movie?
She's the Man.
She's the Man.
I
Holy
fucking
shit.
love that
I remember
movie.
the day I went to go see that movie in the theaters, and I was like, I was a teenager.
Yo, I
This is
think
the
she was hilarious
fucking
in
funniest
ECA.
movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, hello, she's the man, what a girl wants.
ECA, I think she was hilarious.
She was really
playing
good
the
at that, too.
religious girl.
Yeah.
What the hell? Hairspray. Like, this girl is so talented.
Yeah.
The Amanda Show. I mean, I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
Amanda. Like, come on. You know? I like eggs, all that. Like, I mean, she is such, like, a rock star in my mind growing up. And, like, you said it, Nikki, that she buried herself into work. Possibly, well, one, because she was forced to do it. Also just to escape the abuse that was going on behind the scenes, that eventually when I guess she was old enough and was not working as much, it just blew up. She blew up.
Yeah, it caught up to her.
It caught up to her where she did all these crazy things, I don't know how many years ago, where she was getting arrested.
I mean, I still feel like she's still healing,
She's definitely healing because I follow her on TikTok and every day I watch her little videos and I'm like, oh, today she seems a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
Too. And I
she's
really like that.
Talking to the public.
I really like now that the people, this is why I love TikTok. Please don't ban it. Like the TikTok community is really, maybe it's the new generation, they haven't been through the shit that we went through. I don't know. They're really supportive of her.
Very
supportive. All the comments are like, we're so happy to see you. When she talks something about her hair, they were like, it looks great. Hair. Don't worry about it. She tried to do a podcast, and I think she canceled that for a little bit. I don't know. It just gives a lot. It's like a whole new perspective watching this documentary and seeing who she is and what she's been through. And I felt so ignorant because I was like, what happened to her? Like, why is she losing it,
Like,
and it's like, no, actually, this her whole childhood was abuse.
But we didn't know, we're on the outside.
But we had no idea.
Yeah. Why is this happening? Why is she going on these Twitter rants? Why is she doing all these... Like, we don't know anything. Yeah. But I wanted to just say one last thing about Amanda. Oh, I wonder, because I know she has a diagnosis, and I think a few diagnoses.
She has a few,
and I believe one of them is schizophrenia.
I think so. I think one of them is, it's bipolar and schizophrenia.
Right. I wonder that all of this, if I'm not a doctor, but I'm wondering if all of the abuse caused these diagnoses, caused these mental disorders to, come around.
I'm sure.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm sure they're definitely part of it. I don't want to say it was, created by that. I don't know where these issues come from. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure a lot of them either trigger them or made them bigger. you know, like it's something that like made them out of control.
Oh man,
I mean, these traumatic experiences have to like fuck with
Amanda
your
Vines,
psyche.
if you're hearing us, we love you.
We love
We're
you.
sending you a big hug.
Yes.
What you've been through is not fair, and we don't wish that on our worst enemy.
No,
we don't. Yeah.
Fuck Dan Schneider.
Yeah. Fuck.
I know.
Dan
What a
Schneider.
fucking pab.
Pab.
He's the worst kind of pab. Because how do you? First of all, Brian Peck
He's
too,
a pab, POS.
Oh,
and a pedophile. Like, why do you want to touch
And
a 13-year-old? Why do you want to touch a kid?
stop
That's
with
when
the
I say
massages.
pedophilia is definitely a disease. It's a sickness because
100%.
no one in their right, healthy mind would think, oh, even just saying it.
It makes you
kid
wanna
is
throw up.
sexy. Like, thinking I want to think of a child sexually. Like, even just saying it, I feel, nauseous. Like, it's just so bad. And the fact that Brian Peck is a gay man, I'm like, you making us look bad, bro. You know, like...
Oh my
on.
gosh! Can
No, I
leave
think
Drake
like it doesn't
alone.
matter. Like it doesn't matter you're gay or straight. Pedophilia is pedophilia. You know. This,
Right, but I mean, as a gay man, you know, we have all this, a lot of stigmas and stereotypes, but it's just like, this is one of them, where it's just like, stay away from
there
my
was
son.
a part, yes, that I think it was Joe Bell's Drake's father said something about Brian Peck, and somebody said to him, like, don't
he's
worry,
gay.
like he's gay.
You're just being
And-
homophobic.
Yeah, and I wanted to scream, like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't touch kids. Gay, straight, whatever you fucking choose to like go for. Kids are untouchable.
Yeah, well,
Period.
sexual orientation and pedophilia are two very
Exactly.
different things. They don't, like,
Exactly.
yes.
So I wanted to scream at the TV because you know these people are like, these are the people that you know use homosexuality and homophobia as a tool, you know, rather than it's like the real thing. Like, hey, let's fight it. No, they use it as a tool. They're like, oh, let's just blame it on homophobia. Like, no, this is fucking sexual abuse right now.
And that poor father, man. Like,
My heart.
My heart is
for
broken.
him.
where he knew, he was like, something's not right about this
When he was telling all the
guy.
parents,
Telling
and
all
then
the
they started
parents,
ostracizing
like,
him. They were like, "We gotta
right,
get away
like,
from this
He
guy."
fucking knew, you know. And then when Brian Peck got into Drake's head and says, "Oh, you should cut off your dad," you know, and he fucking did that. He's like, "I just want my son to be happy, whatever he wants." And he tells Drake's mom, here's everything you need. Just don't keep him near that Brian fucking Peck guy. Like,
And let's
if
also
his father
talk
was still in
about-
the picture, this probably would have never happened to him.
100%.
Drake.
100%. And also let's talk about the fact that this guy was basically grooming him the whole time.
Yeah,
First,
The video
Which
of
is
showing
why
him
he-
touch Drake's arm.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh, Leonardo
Yes.
DiCaprio. Sorry, yeah.
Where he was
Leonardo
like-
DiCaprio actually in the video.
with, like too much on the elbow, like hand lingering. Like
He
I was like,
that's how he was touching my son. Oh. Ugh.
No, and like you think about it, like he started in Amanda's show, and then he got his own spin-off Drake and Josh. Was
Yeah.
it? My little sister was obsessed with that show, and I was thinking like, this kid is so vulnerable right now. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting all this stuff. I have to keep saying yes, you know? And at this point, it's keep saying yes with any parent supervision because they have isolated his dad. They have isolated him from his dad completely. Now the mom is not as involved, you know? So this guy has like complete control over him.
Yeah.
And the fact that this kept happening for months, and then it had to take another parent to be like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
This is like a 40-year-old man should not be calling a 15-year-old kid 40 times nonstop.
I'm glad she caught on to that, because where the
Thank
fuck is
God.
Drake Bell's mom?
Yeah.
Where's his mom?
Like the fact that Brian was taking him to auditions, like you don't want to be there. You're supposed to not only be his manager, but you're his fucking parent. Like support your kid. You know,
Like,
go.
she doesn't
You
like
take.
driving. She doesn't want to do this.
Okay, like you have money. Get like a chauffeur.
She should have came up in the
No.
documentary and
Yeah.
owned up to it and be like, "Look, I fucked up." You know,
She
because
fucked
that was
up
her
bad.
responsibility to protect
I
her
don't
child,
think
and she fucking did it.
I don't think she would.
I don't think
she
she-
doesn't seem
I-
the type of person.
I also think like I don't think I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think he has a good relationship with her anymore. I would
He didn't
blame my
mention- He didn't
mom.
mention her at all.
Nothing.
He
Nothing.
just talks about his
Zero.
father. That's
He
it.
at one point said like my parents had a really
Tumultuous relationship.
tumultuous relationship. Yes, those were the words that he used. But he never said my mom. I think at one point was like, oh, my mom couldn't. No, he called my mom and was like, oh, he has to record tomorrow, so I'll just have him sleep over. Like, no, no.
Have him sleep over with the fucking predator.
Like what goes through a parent's mind that they think that it's okay? Like, okay, yeah, he's known him for a long time. He's his dialogue coach and a producer, and he works with him a lot, but he's still a grown man.
And
It's almost
not
like she
his
just didn't want to
parents.
deal with him. She didn't want to deal with him.
She didn't want the responsibility.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But I just,
Poor kid, because like I don't
the neglect.
need to know the details about what happened between him and Brian.
Is it
what
bad that I
Brian did
kind of
Drake.
want to know?
Me too. Me too.
I didn't want to say it, but I kind of do want to know. But
I do. But I get,
I
like,
mean,
it's traumatizing
based
that
on
he's not going into
what
details.
he was saying, or how he was describing about how bad it got, I guess it got pretty fucking
I
bad.
mean, the foreign object, guys. There was a foreign object involved.
I
and
know.
I had
know.
no words for that.
Like, what is
Like-
is that just like a dildo? Is it?
Could be anything.
Yeah. So it's like what?
And this guy was like going on red carpets, going on tour, like he was being famous, like nothing was happening. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
behind the scenes, he
the
was fucking preyed on
The
a fucking
Drake
predator.
and Josh had not even happened yet
Right.
when all of this was going on.
I'm glad that he eventually opened up.
And
just
you
broke.
can tell while you were watching it, I don't know if you guys saw, he was he didn't know how to sit.
Oh, so uncomfortable. Yeah, for sure.
So
So
uncomfortable. I was like,
uncomfortable.
oh my God, like he doesn't want to say it, but he knows he has to say something because it's also like a lot of people out there, this might encourage them.
Right.
A lot of people that went through the same thing. And let's just talk about the fact that this motherfucker only got, how long did he get in jail?
14 months,
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah,
It was a
16.
little more than a year. And then he was able to get a job with Disney on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. You know, working
Yep.
with kids
Right, to
again.
work with more fucking
right.
kids.
But you know, he's a registered sex
everywhere.
offender, but let him get a job with kids. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And his response was like, "Oh, it's been handled. It's been taken care of." Like, where are the background checks? Where are the background checks? Especially when we get background checks just to work at our regular jobs, but when you're working
Yeah.
with children, I mean,
I know.
You need
Disney
extra.
too.
You need
Disney,
extra.
come on, do better.
get
The
your shit
fuck?
together.
Yes. Oh my
Jeez.
gosh.
Yeah,
And so,
like,
and when
how-
he talked about the court, when he
Yeah.
was like, I look at his side and it's full of people.
all the people who
Well-
wrote affidavits for him, all those
Right.
celebrities.
What do you guys think about that? So, like James Marsden, all
I'm
these
pissed.
other people.
I was really fucking upset.
Yes.
That's one. Second, there was one actress that retracted what her
Because she said she
affidavit.
didn't have all of the information. So you
And
have
I
to
think
question
most of
things.
them didn't have the information of what the fuck happened. They're like, oh, can you just write something about like good behavior?
Right. Like, oh, maybe
So-
he just had allegations against him. So then they go, oh, so maybe nothing happened. And like, no, he wouldn't do anything. He's a really good guy. Instead
So
of saying,
at first I thought that. Go ahead, continue.
no,
please. I
but
don't-
just, yeah. that there were
At first, I
allegations.
was with you guys. I was like, hey, they didn't have enough information. But then again, I was thinking, if someone comes to me and tells me, look, this guy has been inappropriately touching, or not even, it went beyond the touching, sexually abusing this minor, like, am I going to think,
Twice.
no, they didn't do it? Like, oh, they must have done it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a serious accusation.
It's horrible.
You know? It's
It's
a
horrible.
horrible accusation. It's not like, oh, this person crashed my car. No, you know what I mean? Like, this is a horrible accusation where I'm thinking, how would I react? You know, if it's, would I believe that they did it, or would I not believe that they did it? So I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted. I'll be honest. I'm like, yes,
Honestly,
no, yes, no, yes,
I
no.
don't think kids would lie about something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of leaning
It's
towards. It. I was like, I
too
would believe it if
dark,
the kid spoke out.
you know. It's too
Like
deep.
what-
It's too dark. Like a young kid's mind does not run like that. You know, it's not thinking, I'm gonna accuse this person of sexual abuse. No, like when you're 14, 15, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking of
That's
going to a
why-
movie theater with your crush. Period.
Right. That's why I am a little upset that these actors, you know, wrote these affidavits, because, like you mentioned, I agree with you, Nikki. Kids are not thinking that way. They're not thinking, oh, this is gonna get me some clout. You know.
No.
And
No,
not
they're
thinking
not
about
thinking.
that.
my thing too is like some of these people, like how well did they even know this guy? Like they work with him
I
a
thought
little
about
bit
that.
one time. Like that's the thing too. To what extent do you really know this person? Also, I'm sorry, even if you guys were accused of something, I would say I really don't feel like they would. But do you know a person 100%?
No.
No. So in my heart, I would probably say no way, but in my head I would say, well, it's possible. But then I couldn't, in good conscience, write a letter saying there's no way and call this person a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also that's on them too. Like what was there pressure behind it from like their agent or somebody being
Jobs.
like you have to
Jobs.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Could
of
be
them
jobs.
had,
That's true too, yeah.
a lot of them had work with him. Like, and I think in the moment, they were probably still working with him. And they were probably promised jobs, too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you write this, I'll give you this role.
That's Hollywood.
Oh,
It's
my
fucked up.
gosh.
It's really fucked up. I
guess
really
we
felt
got the
bad for
bullet.
him.
We failed actors.
I know. I was also thinking of that kid that, you know, really resented his mom. And she was like, I'm so glad I took him out when I did. Because, you know, then right after she took him out, all this shit started coming out.
Yep.
And
They
you know
dodged the bullet.
what really, really bothered me in like the headlines? They would say like, da-da-da producer, but they would never say their fucking names. I'm like, call them out.
Call them out.
Put their name in big. Be like, Brian Peck, pedophile, got fired.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, like don't say like, oh, there's like a sexual abuse claim, or like, no, he's a fucking pedophile. Period. And call him by his name. Don't say like, oh, I'm a producer. No, put his name there. Let the people know.
Yeah.
Girls.
I
What
don't
are
know.
these people today? Like,
Free.
Yeah. I don't,
Free and happy.
no one's in jail.
All the abusers are free and happy.
are they in jail? You said, Tracey.
Then I said no one's in jail.
No one is in jail. They're free and happy, living their best life. I will
Probably
never understand
working with
that.
children.
Yep.
Crazy. I mean,
I'm
You know, it
sorry.
goes- it goes
this
on
is the
to,
only
like-
time, like shit like this. I believe in the death penalty. Any
Same.
pedophile needs to be killed.
Rapist,
Absolutely.
pedophile.
Rapist, pedophile.
Rapist,
Out.
pedophile.
Get out.
Out.
Disgusting.
Bye. We're going
Out.
to cut off your penis. Torture you.
Isn't it true that they
Insert foreign
replaced-
objects in your butthole.
Yes.
Like
yes.
everything that you did to your victims, we'll do to you.
And Yeah, so you cut their dicks off, then you cut the bowl and their balls, you put it in their mouth. And then you penetrate them with a foreign object. There you go.
There you
And
go.
you're like, do you like that? Because that's probably how it felt for the victims.
Oh,
These poor child stars, I'm
It's
glad
really
that they kind of
sad.
referenced these other actors like Lindsay Lohan, Drew Barrymore, the Coreys. That it's like, it makes me wonder if they too have been abused. You know what I mean? I understand that there's a lot of pressure as a kid, when you are in Hollywood. And again, the parents they have to take some accountability and some blame, because I think it starts there.
100%.
But I also
agree.
wonder if there's some things that have happened behind closed doors where these child actors were abused, and assaulted. And maybe that might have been a contributing factor to their drug addiction, or alcohol abuse. And just kind of
Like you think about it,
spiral.
Lindsay Lohan went through her shit too, and it wasn't like as deep, but it was like in her own way. Everyone like copes with shit different. I'm like, did she go through some shit like this too? Because
We don't know if it was as deep or
right.
not.
And like some of
We don't
them,
no, like no, her acting out, It wasn't as like Amanda Vines, and acting. I'm saying quote unquote, guys. That's why I'm like, everyone copes differently with
Right.
everything. So we have no idea what like Lindsay Lohan went through, and you know what? And then I get really upset because then I go back to Britney, and Britney was fucking damaged by her own fucking parents, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, who do you trust?
Right. If you can't even trust your own.
Well, that's the thing
parents.
too, because I know like Lindsay Lohan, like her mom did not get along, if I'm not mistaken. Like she wanted to be emancipated as well, I believe. Like she had a really
Or
bad
was it her
relationship with
dad?
her, but her
one of
relationship
them.
with her
Yeah.
parents wasn't great. And then
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, like the media and like paparazzi, they don't make it better either, because then especially with women, it's like, oh, they're getting too fat, or they don't look
Yeah.
good in this outfit, or just like
Yeah.
picking on their image. So it's like on like whatever's happening behind the scenes within their career and the pressures that they're getting, and then on top of it being in the spotlight. So it's like you said, how they handle these things. I mean, it's got to be so much pressure. I'm a failed actor,
Yeah.
so I don't know how that feels to have the paparazzi chase you around.
We know every day. Every time I come out of my building, I'm like, stop with the pictures.
Although you do
Right.
remember when we
No
went to
more
Disney World that
autographs.
one time and that kid wanted your autograph.
Oh, right. That was the moment. I was like, gladly, here's my autograph.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where you know me from, but here you go.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. For some people, look at Drew Barrymore. Lindsay
Yeah.
Lohan is getting her comeback, which I'm so happy about.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her.
Vines is slowly healing, and hopefully she keeps going in that direction.
Drake Bell is really, really famous in Mexico. Really, really famous in Mexico.
Good for him.
And he has his band still, and he still plays, and he actually has a lot of concerts. Like, he's really loved in Mexico,
Oh, that's great.
which is so random.
It
Yeah.
is, but
It is so random.
Yeah.
But if
him
it's
though.
yeah, if it's contributing to his healing journey, then
Right.
so be it. Wow.
Dan Schneider didn't get anything ever from his abuse, from his
No, and in fact, he
his
did an interview.
abuse of power and sexual abuse. What's up with the fucking massages?
What the fuck is up with that? That's so disgusting. Again, HR. What
And
was
it
HR?
wasn't just the kid, like it was like grown women, like that woman who worked in the wardrobe department. And she like, hey, you need to come give Dan a massage. And she's like, I have how many shows to do full of calls? I'm fucking busy doing my job. And you can't say no. So I gotta go and like massage
And
his
he
shoulders.
looks like
and you're
he
like,
stinks.
oh,
Ugh.
definitely. He smells like old dirty ham.
Oh.
Like, no, like musty.
Ew, sweaty.
Looks
Like when
sweaty.
when you walk into a guy's room and it's just like smells like balls.
Ball sack
and
smell.
it's like humid.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly how he smells, but like all the time. You know?
Oh, for sure.
And he looked like his face was shining. It's like, did you wash your face, dude?
Well, I hope
with his
that,
own
parents
jizz.
who are in the film industry or their kids are really do watch this and are overprotective, because this cannot happen. Like, she's one of the actresses said it. She's like, we cannot have another Dan Schneider ever again.
Yeah.
This should not happen ever again. So
I think
get
it's
your fucking
changed
shit
a lot.
together. What?
Probably. I think it's changed a lot now. I think
Yeah,
people.
probably.
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah. I think also people are way more aware of things now.
Hopefully. Well, because
It's
then
just-
also, like, they were saying, like, that hashtag Me Too movement. So it's like, that's how this all sort of came about, where it was like, that happened. And then all these victims say, I'm not the only one. And you have other people who are, stepping out and saying, this is what happened to me. So you sort of had that camaraderie and, basically saying to your abuser, like, this is what you did to me. And then what? Like a year later, Nickelodeon was like, "Okay, bye."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not real, like not a true statement either. They just say like,
Yeah, it's like...
oh,
Yeah.
that's it. We're parting ways.
Right. But either way, he's not working for them, so it is a win.
He should not work for anyone.
No.
Should not work for anyone ever. He should not be
Ever.
near kids either.
He should not be on kids and women or anyone,
People.
because he's mistreating... Yeah, lock
Just
him up.
people.
Yeah,
him in a
he
zoo.
should be locked up.
Yeah. Fucking...
My goodness. And
Disgusting.
we just found out, I actually saw it today when I was like looking up stuff to do the outline of today's episode, that there's a new episode coming up of this show on April 7th.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be specific to just Drake Bell's confession and his story.
So I'm thinking we should be releasing this episode that week then.
Oh, maybe. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works actually.
Okay.
It works perfectly.
Let's do it.
Well, it's got a really good score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
The score was okay. It was 100%.
Of course it was. You're welcome, Joe.
But the audience score gave it 68. What the hell? What are you people going through?
I think they just want to know more.
Well, hey, guess what? April 7th. Tune in.
That's true.
Is he
I'm
gonna
even
be
want
Drake
more.
Bell, or are they gonna bring Brandy?
I read some of the article, and it looked like it's going to be a surprise episode that's going to focus more on Drake Bell and his story. That's what I
Okay.
understood. I'll be honest, I didn't read the entire article, but the bit that I read said that. Something along the lines of that.
I was like, bring Amanda, bring Amanda.
I don't think she's ready for that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
Yeah. Let's, the girl's healing. Let's... I want to hear her talk.
Give her, yeah.
I really
know,
do.
I
Myself,
know.
the selfish part of me is like, girl, tell us the facts. But yeah, the girl is slowly healing. Like, maybe in the future,
I would say
I'm
in her
sure.
own time, like if she,
Yeah, in
if
her own
she's
time,
ever
I
ready.
know in the future she will definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you have any interesting facts, Tracey?
No.
I don't think there's. Yeah, we want
Yeah,
more
it's
information,
hard
Tracey.
because I mean, I think like a lot of this is still things are coming out.
Coming up.
Because like Jeanette McCurdy, who's on Sam and Cat and what, like she wrote her autobiography, I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead, which I still need to read. But there's a lot of stuff that happened with Dan Schneider in there. So like I think there's like even one part where she talked about where she had a meeting with some of the people from Nickelodeon, and they were basically going to give her hush money. They were going to give her $300,000 if she agreed to not talk about anything that had happened.
I'm sure
What
that wasn't the
fuck?
first time that's happened. I'm sure
Absolutely
that other
not. And she
actors
said,
have been offered that.
no, thank you.
I wonder if Ariana Grande is ever going to say something.
I think everything will happen in its
It's its own time,
it'll
yeah.
happen
Right.
in its own time.
Well,
You
she's
know,
just
I
like
think
so
that
big too. You
I
know.
know. That's why I'm like her opinion at this point is an important one, and
It
her
is.
story is
right.
an important
She's the
one
biggest
because
star.
she's the biggest star
right
that they
now
have, and
that they have
well,
on there.
what we saw was not okay.
No, it wasn't. And I think that right now there's a lot going on for Ariana, where she's like going through her own shit with that whole shooting that happened at that concert. She's still
that was
suffering from
bombing.
the death of her ex and stealing some woman's husband. Wicked is coming out. Her new album just came out.
She's busy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she's like, I want to stay far away from this as possible for now, and then when in the future when I'm ready.
And we don't
to
know,
cope,
like,
we'll talk about
if
it.
this contract that she had signed with Nickelodeon, if there's an NDA clause in there, if
That's
she
true.
still has like something in her contract stipulating that for a certain amount of time she can't talk about things. So if that's still, because it hasn't been like that long since I feel like she was on.
Yeah, I forgot
these
about
shows.
the NDAs. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
so I don't know if she
A lot of
can.
NDAs.
I mean, if some of them are speaking up, I
Well,
think
Ariana,
it's
if you know anything, you
good.
can hit us up, text us, email us. You know, we want to know. We
Please.
won't tell
Sorry.
anyone. We promise.
We like you a lot.
We
We
love
think
you.
you're the shit,
Very
and
talented.
we would love to hear your story.
Just have your people call our people, and we can gossip, and we won't tell anyone.
Because I'm sure it's like, even if maybe nothing necessarily happened to her, like she had to have seen things happen to other people.
And just feeling uncomfortable in general, being
Oh
like,
my
you have to
gosh.
like splash this fucking water on your chest and say that I'm thirsty.
She's
That was
probably
so-
also ashamed and embarrassed. You know, that could
Yeah,
be a
She's probably like, I want to
100%.
forget about it.
like I'm trying to forget about this. I really don't want to go back to that.
But really, though, it
Poor
made me
baby.
super uncomfortable watching it. So I, like, imagine doing that.
Right. Imagine watching yourself do that.
Cringe.
I'm sure she does not watch that
No.
at all. He's like, nope, no, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking terrible.
Horrible.
Did we cover everything we wanted to talk about? The docuseries? Is there anything else? It's a pretty heavy one.
Fucking bummer, man.
A bummer. Yeah,
gosh.
sorry.
Such
Sorry,
a
this was a
bummer.
heavy, deep episode, but we promise we
know.
have some good content coming for you. Some uplifting content. This is all good content. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
And when
We're
is this
amazing.
Yeah, is this coming out right after the program? We don't know yet, right? Because it's gonna be dark and dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
These documentaries are just.
yeah, they're brutal.
Sad,
They're really,
yeah.
really brutal.
Because it just brings out like the worst of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and especially like these types of ones that we're discussing. But even like
Yeah.
in general, because even other stuff where it's like the food industry and, poor whales.
Yeah,
Shit, like everything's just so terrible.
so
We can't do anything right.
no,
People
just
suck.
this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Just this podcast. And just liking, comment, subscribing, and following us and writing to us. That's also what you can do.
Yeah, and you guys did great listening to us.
Yes.
Good
today.
job sitting there or driving or
Cleaning your apartment. I fucking love
Or maybe,
cleaning with a
maybe
podcast.
sleeping. Maybe they slept on us, you know.
Oh, that's
As
true.
long as you're playing
Did
us to go to
our
bed.
voices put you to sleep?
I know.
I know.
I know you like
Night,
this ASMR.
night.
We could be your version of ASMR.
Yeah, whatever works for you, we're here for you.
Whatever works for you. Well, thank you for judging with us.
Yeah, and thank you for listening.
As always, we appreciate you coming back time and time again.
I hope you
Which I
have
hope
a
you
great
are.
positive time this week and not a sad time the way we just had with this documentary.
I know, it was so heavy.
Spread some joy around. Do something nice for somebody and don't expect anything in return.
Go on a walk.
Beautiful.
That's the goal for the week.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Until
Okay.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.